Yo, what's up? What's good? What is happening? Welcome to my live stream. I am the actual King Smith, and this is a Tuesday vlog where I come on and talk about whatever the funk I want to talk about. We might be struggle streaming tonight as I've had some technical issues just before the start of the stream, but my video looks good. Put a 1 in the chat if my audio sounds great. And we're going to get into it tonight. I had an idea of what I wanted to do for my stream tonight, and I decided to change it up just a little bit. Okay, let me take a look in the chat. I see a 1 in here from Grooming and Reviews 101. Shout out to my guy Pete. God happened to me. What up, Michelle? Okay, so my audio is good. Let's see who we got in the building. Let's get the marketing stuff out the way. And let's get into what we're talking about tonight. And you know what? This is the last Tuesday of the month. If anybody wants to come up, I'm going to have the link to join the stream in the chat. I'm going to put the link to join the stream in the chat. Let me see if I can do this properly. I can't pin it. All right. Actually, you know what? I'll go over and pin it on YouTube. So we got Perry Productions in the building, man. Me and my boy Perry Productions are going to be linking up next month, going to Blurred Con down in DC, and that's Black Nerd Con. We're going to dress up one day, do the whole cosplaying thing as Mario and Luigi. I'm Mario, he's Luigi. He's tall and slender, and I am short and the opposite of slender. So I can't wait for that, man. I can't wait for that. Shout out to you, his oldest daughter. Graduated high school. Think she's going on to play college basketball, if I'm tracking everything correct. So he's got 1 down, 2 to go. And him and his kid went on a fire Miami spring break trip, man. I thought that was dope. All right, let's see who else. We got Tarika in the building. Said, everyone, please hit the like button as you come in. And I've seen a few people have hit the like button already. All right. I appreciate you. And please show some support through a super chat, whether it's $2, $5, or $10. All of my super chats, after YouTube takes their cut, I invest back into my streaming. So I appreciate everybody's support with that. Let's see. We got my man Pete. Pete came down. We didn't get a chance to spend a lot of time over this past holiday weekend, but he was in the area visiting his friend, and then on his way back home, stopped and saw myself, God happened to me, and my daughter, and he brought us some gifts. For me, he got a head shaver thing. As his channel states, he does a lot of grooming and review products. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to go over to his YouTube channel and give him a subscribe. He asked, he gave it a gift. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I am a horrible gift receiver. I've always been that way. I'm not one that's been used to receiving gifts. I will pretty much tell anybody that's listening and watching right now, don't expect a gift from me ever in life. If I give you one, it's because I was feeling real gracious and I know what you like. I suck at buying gifts, so I don't get them. It is a 90% chance if you get anything from me, it'll be a gift card. But I appreciate him. I'm going to do a review on the product that he gave me when I use it. All right. Let's see who else we got in the building. That is all of the updates for the people that have popped in. I see Pete is back stage. I'm going to go ahead and bring Pete up and let's have a conversation. Pete, what is up, my guy?
What's
Good to
up,
see you,
my
brother.
man?
Hey man, so I see that you made it back safe.
Yeah, it was a long drive back, but it was worth it.
Man, I don't think I told you. I didn't share this with a lot of people, but there were some folks that knew. So we went to the beach this past weekend. It was about 3 hours away. Get to parking and go to pay for the parking and realize that I didn't have my wallet. After a process of elimination, turns out I left it all the way at the crib. Lucky for me, though, I had my lady with me. My daughter's old enough that she has her debit card and stuff as well. And with the advent of technology, my driver's license is actually loaded into my Apple phone. That's one Android versus Apple. Everybody has those debates about which
Mhm.
one's greater. And there's pros and cons to both. I have both versions of phones. I've got a Samsung phone, I've got an iPhone, and I've got a Google phone over in the other room. They all have their pros and cons, but Apple
Yeah, we
did
agree
save
on
the
that.
day with me having my driver's license
I
in
actually
my
had
iPhone.
a Android for years, and I went back to Apple recently. And honestly, it's preference. In the day is which OS you like better. You like an Apple that is very simple, or do you want to customize your phone a little better? It's really preference. In the day, it really makes no difference.
Yep, true that, true that. Now, today's topic, man, it spurned from a conversation that I had with somebody. There's a lot of graduating seniors that just
Mhm.
graduated high school. They're about to find out how whatever they thought about life as an adult is not going to be what they thought it was. And one of the things that I talked about is from ages 18 to like 30. Okay. Actually, you can say, yeah, from ages 18 to, yeah, 30. That's a good building block of life where if you can make good informed decisions from the time that you graduate to about the time that you're 30, no matter what your gender is. If you could build a solid foundation in those years, man, when you turn 30 and above and hit that next phase of life, your life can almost be on easy mode if you made the right decisions about your finances, about your
Mhm.
education, and what people don't talk about, mate selection. The people that you choose to have intimate relationships with can hurt or help your life long term. And I got an example in a video that I'm going to bring up of somebody that when I take a look at this person, I try not to judge people by first impressions, but almost immediately you don't get a good first impression of what this person, of how this person moves, how they think. And then you hear him speak and you're like, yep, everything that I thought is exactly what it was. So I'd like to hear from you. Uh, as you're looking at your life and thinking back on some things, um, can you think of some times where you've prioritized short-term happiness over long-term success or gains?
Oh yeah, 100%. Definitely with my previous relationships, I didn't say except one or two. I would say it wasn't long term. I was just wanted to get in, have fun in the moment, and get out. And I didn't realize that like over the years, as I got older and grayer, and bearder, and fatter, and I realized shit. Yeah, and now I'm at that point in my life, like I'm done just chasing the small things. I'm chasing the big thing. I want a long term, a marriage, a woman, a kid, maybe six Pete's running around driving everybody crazy. maybe that not that many, but I'm overreacting. But you know what I'm trying to say. It's
Yeah.
definitely get where you're coming from. If I had a mentor sit down and tell me, "Hey, this is good for now, but get your head on right." My father wasn't my mentor. My father was the provider. So he was paying the bills, and when I needed somebody to have a talk with me, he was never around.
Hmm.
So I kind of learned myself, to be honest with you, by making mistakes. And when I made those mistakes, sometimes were too late to even get to say, "Hey, you already effed up way too far."
Yeah. Yep. And look, there's nothing wrong with making mistakes as long as
I
you
agree.
learn from them. There
I
is
agree.
absolutely nothing wrong with making mistakes, but yet it's key to learn from them. Shout out to the dating game. Actually, while I have the dating game here, one of the things that I'm going to present is actually something that they just posted that I thought was hilarious because it speaks to the topic that we're talking about right now. It says, fellas, don't let that $7 sundress cost you $70,000 in child support this summer. And man, hey, let me tell you, it is sundress season, right? It is sundress season.
Yes, it is.
And we went out shopping and we were in Delaware, and Delaware is a tax-free state. My lady found this dress today that she wore at her job, and she received a lot of compliments on them. And she asked me and my daughter, because she picked them both and held them up, which one. And I won't reveal what the price of it was, but just the sheer fact that if you see a lady and she might have some yammage on her, right? And she got that sundress and them things is thanging in that sundress, and you like, ooh, 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 hey, let me go holler at her, right? That
Yeah,
one,
down the road myself, like I see a little shorty walking, I go, "Hello, I'll be right back." And hey, I'll be right back. I'll be back. And next thing I know, it's $7 turns into $500 dinner out in a hotel room.
yep. So I saw that, man, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. It is fantastic that I saw that meme right before we went live. So I had to share that. And that is on TDG, The Dating Game, which Pete has been on. I co host The Dating Game with Sean, and the channel's about dating, relationships, accountability as well. It's not just, the average everyday dating panel or show or anything like that. We're taking what social media is putting out there, highlighting some things and trying to say, all right, this is what you should avoid, and this is how you can get better in certain situations. Because the video that I'm going to show today, I'm like, the fact that this person lives this way and sees nothing wrong with their lifestyle choices baffles me. Like, it legit baffles me. It makes me wonder how bad our public education system is in certain areas that can allow the lack of critical thinking in these kids to occur to where they become adults and just make dumbass decisions. All
Well, I
right.
see that on a daily basis because of where I work at. I work at a nursing home. I'm a cook. I made it probably on my channel. And at night I work with kids, and some of the conversations these kids have, I'm like, "What the man? I want to slap you, silly boy."
Yep. And God happened to me had a comment to what you said is that there is a difference between a provider and a mentor. Look. I'm going to talk about this. And you know what, Pete? I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go solo for a second on this
Yeah,
one.
go for it.
There is absolutely a difference between a provider and a mentor. I'm not going to say one is more important than the other one, but what I can say is this. I think if you're a man and you are solely a provider and you're not giving your children and your household structure, helping shape the minds of your kids, whether they be young women or young men, and all your mindset is work, 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 like the song Rihanna, and you're not nurturing the people around you, giving them structure, I think you're failing your kid. I see a lot of men and it's the older generation. The funny part about it is I don't know the Gen X, Gen Ys, and Gen Zs. I forget where I fall in. I'm born in 1984, but the men like that are 10 years older than me and older. Okay, so people 48 and older. I look at what they had to do back in the day, the different wars and stuff that they had to endure. Okay, all right. I'm not gonna say that what they went through eh, ruined us, but I think that people fail because they were solely providers and not enough mentors, and it just like it messed up the curve of how the average person has accountability and processes things. That's my 2 cents on that. One of these days I said I'm gonna do a whole stream on this because not enough people are talking about it. All right, there's just not simply enough people talking about it. But I'm gonna show this first video, and while I bring this one up, I'm gonna have the second one. I have to download it. Your browser has blocked your screen. What? What? Let's try this again. Oh, I know why. Boom.
Are your assistant?
We should. Yeah, I'm about to fire my assistant over here. All right. Here's the start of the video. So fair use. This is Kendra G. Kendra G is an online radio personality who has now gotten mainstream success with one of her shows that she's done called Singles On, where people come on and they are looking for relationships. I think it's kind of turned into she knows what she's doing. She clips the ones that she knows are going to go viral. So what you're seeing here is not a representation of a majority of the people that come on her show. Yet it is an accurate representation of the people that you're going to find out there in the dating marketplace. So let's take a look.
Baby,
I'm a caregiver.
Caregiver. You have any kids?
Yes, I do. I have 5 girls, all by the same dad.
Okay. So I'm looking at her. The first thing that I noticed, and what people also said in the comments too, is that she looks like this rapper Glorilla. Okay, and if you don't know who that is, that comment's not gonna matter. But it's the eyelashes for me. She's got them eyelashes that every time she bats, I'm curious, like if she has a little bit of lift and she bats her eyelashes, if she takes off the ground a bit. But to have 5 kids, to be as petite as she is, like she's got that going for her. But then she said 5 kids by the same dude. She's going to get into their ages a little bit later on. The first question that I'd like to know, why aren't you married to that guy then? If you're on here looking for a relationship, and the title kind of gave it away here. She has 5 daughters and a sugar daddy. So she's not with the kid's father. She's not with this sugar daddy. Why is she on a dating show looking for the next sucker, if you ask me?
You have 5 daughters? Was you once married? How
Nope,
did y'all
never.
not get married and have 5 kids together?
He got like 14 kids.
What?
So, so did you hear that? She had 5 kids from the same guy, right? If that's to be believed, with a dude who also has a whole village by other women. Okay, these are the choices that she's making in her life, and now is coming onto a show looking for a man to marry. I don't think she says it in part 1 because there's a part 2, but she's looking for she wants marriage. She said that she is looking to date to marry, and she's going to ask a guy to come on and be a father figure to her 5 kids that she has allowed this same dude to shoot up the club.
First of all, that dude needs to get a. I will invest in rubbers for you, buddy. I don't know who you are. I'm gonna get your rubbers. Just wrap your shit up. 14 is way too much pushing it. Second, she looks like a hoochie mama. I'm sorry, the way she's dressed up like that.
Yeah.
And the third thing, I'm talking about personal experience still. When a woman says I'm looking for marriage and I met her offline, 9 out of 10 times they don't really mean that. They want a good dinner or something like that.
Ooh, hey, man, dude, I'm glad that you said that. I wish I had this other clip. I heard this clip. I think it was on Dating to Marriage Support, where this psychologist, and this was back in the '90s, he said, "Don't pay attention to what a lady says. Pay attention." I think he said to how she feels or something like that, because that provides more validity to what she wants. I need to see if I can find that clip, because what you just said kind of goes with the same
I'll give you
thing
two
that
good
the guy
examples
said.
right now. Two of my most serious relationship. My first serious relationship lasted about 2 years. I met her offline, crashed and burned completely, and she was doing things behind my back and saying things behind my back I didn't know. So after we broke up, I found out. Oh, really? Oh, fine. I'm over it now.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, I met her through work, 3.5 years, and that gave me a good foundation in my head, saying, "Oh, this is what a healthy relationship is. This is what I need to do. This is what it is." It wasn't a perfect relationship. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe in a perfect relationship. Everybody has their issues, obviously,
I agree.
but it gave me a foundation. Like, okay, this is what I need to do as a man for my woman, and my woman does this for her man. Okay, so I have an idea what I want.
Okay, so you have an idea of what you want. Let's have it. Let's hear what this lady wants.
Number are
With her
you?
5 kids.
Oh, I can't answer that.
How many kids did he have before? How many baby mamas he had before you?
Before me, probably like 4. I'm not sure because it's a long story.
No, it's not a long story.
Woman, tell me. I'm curious now.
It is not a long story. She said that she's not sure how many baby mamas that he had before her, yet she still likely had an idea it was more than 2 or 3, and chose to allow this dude to go in multiple times raw and skeet. Not just once, twice, 3 times the lady,
but also
5 times total.
You can say yes, it is a guy's fault, but it's also a woman's fault. Like, listen, as a woman, she can tell me, listen, I'm not comfortable. I need you wrap it up. Like, as a man, I got wrap my stuff up. It's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but Pete, here's the thing. This dude has already demonstrated that he don't like rubbers, apparently. So
you know what?
They might get down into the bed. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna be that guy. Hey, but Pete, man, hey, I'm telling you, dog. Every time I try to go up in there, man, I just don't like the way rubbers feel, man. Or what else you got for me?
Sensitive ones, then.
Hey, man, hey, I tried the extra sensitive ones, dog, but they still just like it ain't the same sensation, man. Then
you
as you
want to pay
up in there.
$1,000 in child support?
I mean, I got it, man. I'm a baller. You know what I'm talking about? Plus, man, my baby mama, I got about 8 of them. Ain't none of them taking me to court for child support, big dog. So you know what? I'm straight on that, homie.
When it happens, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, I told you so.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, I got a solution. Give me 1 second.
Okay. He said he got a solution. All
right. You want maybe mamas? I can cut her right off. Here's a solution.
Hey, that looks dope, man. It made a nice sound effect too. Nice.
$500 later.
Hey, money well spent.
Oh, I am not regretting it one bit. I love that thing.
Give me the picture face version, because I want to know why you have 5 kids by a man that have 4 baby mamas.
See,
Please.
Okay, when I first met him, he lied. He didn't tell me how many kids he had, honey. I didn't know.
That doesn't answer the question. He lied the first time. Okay, I'll give you one. You had 4 more kids with this dude though. And when she reveals the ages, you're gonna go, oh yeah, she's an idiot.
And I didn't know he had that many baby mamas. I swear I didn't. Because to be honest with you, he don't even claim some of them. He claimed the ones that he want to claim.
So, but when did you find out the truth? By baby number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
I found out the truth. I think with baby number.
That's a lie.
Baby mama number 4, I think.
No, your
That's a lie.
baby. How many kids did you have by him?
Oh, my first child, like when she was probably like around 5 months, that's when I found out.
Her first kid. She knew this dude was trifling after the first kid. And yo, this is not a joke. This is not a skit. This is an actual person.
So
who
first
is
of all, with the tax thing, I would claim my kids because I know when you're getting money back into the tax season is a good chunk of money. Second of all, I want to slap her right now. Like, how did you not know he had all these kids and you're spreading wide open? Don't you think you need to build a foundation and learn this stuff?
Yep. But yet here she is, and I forget if she says how old she was. I don't know if they get into that, but 5 kids, all daughters, and she knew after her first kid that her dude was no good, and she still chose to lay down with him. So God Happened to Me says, even if he lied, unless you popped out 5 on the first push, you chose to have more kids with him. And this is what I'm talking about. It's the short-term happiness, right? This type of thinking does not lead to long-term success because, look, I don't know what her situation is. She said that she's gainfully employed, but I'm going to tell you right now, having that many kids with a person who's working, unless you're like above average in wealth, right? The average earning family with 5 kids, it's still going to be not really a struggle per se, but you're really going to have to manage your finances perfectly to be able to succeed. If you're not doing that, you're barely going to get by.
Good example, like yourself and even our friend CQ. You guys both have 1 kid, juggling their after school activities, get them go here, do this, do that. It's enough when you're married. Imagine you're like yourself, for example, who's not with a woman. Like, I don't understand how you guys juggle it, like trying to coordinate time schedules because your schedule is different than hers and the kids' schedules are different. Like, good luck trying to put that agenda, and that's not going to work out sometimes.
Yep. And look, I've talked about this stuff on my channel before as well. I had a point where I was broke, beyond broke. So I'm sitting here, I have a kid, I've got debt obligations and things like that, and I was struggling, and I make good money by myself, like, so with just 1 kid, and there were things that I was worried about as far as trying to make ends meet a little bit after my divorce. So if you're talking this lady with 5 kids, I would likely guess there's some type of state assistance that's going on with helping her. And I'm not trying to stereotype here. It's just when you see the patterns and you hear these stories, the stories are the same with everybody. All right.
Unfortunately,
so let's continue.
So you still have 4 more kids after him. After that,
It was good.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? She said the bedroom action was good. So she was getting her back blown out. And because she was getting her back blown out, he was skeeting up in the walls, and she popped out kid after kid after kid after kid after kid because the D was too good. There you have it. There you have it. To the people that are looking to date her in the future,
run.
There you have it right there. That's her mindset. Short-term happiness. Ruining those. I'm not going to say ruin.
Better example right now. My coworker, his father is having 2 kids with 2 different women at the same time. Yeah, exactly, my man.
Hey, what's the situation like with each of the soon-to-be kids' parents? Like,
I'm not
is it
asking on my business. I
mm,
said a little bit. I'm not sharing any more than that.
okay? Wow. And here you have bringing more kids into the world that are likely not going to have a solid structure, thus repeating certain cycles. Man, it's
I
tragic.
couldn't. I don't know. It was just something. I was just in love. I met him. Listen. I met him. I was 18. I'm 29. I'd be 30. Like me, we are both cancers. He's a cancer. I'm a cancer.
So, and
I met him when I was when I was 18. Had my first child at 19, and
okay,
I don't know. I was just attached, and I couldn't let go.
I was attached and I couldn't let go. No, he was blowing the back out. Plain and simple, blowing her back out. Good luck
I've
to
been there.
any dude that's following that.
I've
Good
been
luck.
there to the point that I get attached to a woman and I don't want to lose her. Even I know for a fact she's not good for me. Now that I'm older, it doesn't matter how attached. I know if you're not good for me, I'm out.
And I can't imagine that. I don't know what that's like. I don't.
And when did y'all break up? Yesterday?
No, we been broke up, Kendra. We broke up. I haven't been with him in like a year now.
When's the last time y'all had sex?
I haven't had sex with him in a while. It's been a minute.
Okay.
Listen,
All right.
I'm not gonna lie.
What's
We
their
had
kid's
a
age?
threesome recently.
How recent?
Good
Probably
question.
like a month ago.
Good question. Good. She said it's been a while. I haven't had sex with him in a while, and then followed that up with I'm not gonna lie. I just had a threesome with him, and it was about a month ago. And this is one of the other things that I talk about too. A lot of people's downfall, both men and women, has to do with sexual control. It's bad. It's bad. The amount of ways that your life can be ruined because you don't have sexual discipline. It's bad.
And unfortunately, I think a study I read recently was like 95% men don't have control.
You
Simple.
said that a 95% of guys don't have what again?
Control of their sex drive.
Oh,
Like, they see something, they're like shark going right after. I'm like, and I see that, and I'm like, I'm not saying I'm perfect at control, whatever, when I was that young, but I knew better. Using protection, or I saw her and I saw the drama coming with him, and I was out of there. It just, she knew what she was getting herself into. I don't want to hear the excuses.
God Happened to Me said that sexual control requires a level of awareness that some people can't reach.
That's true.
And
that's very true.
That's true and sad at the same time.
Yeah.
Continuing.
Yeah, it was. Let me tell you why I did it. Can I go ahead and tell you why I did it?
Mm-hmm.
I did it because I wanted to see how he have sex with other women.
What?
Oh, she had a threesome with somebody who she's had 5 kids with at this point, because she said this was a month ago. And she said she wanted to see how he had sex with other women. Now, there was a video by a lady who was married to Derek Jackson. I don't know if they're still married. I think they're going through a divorce if they're not divorced already. The lady, when you look at her resume and stuff, is a highly intelligent person. Like, she's functional. Like, she takes care of herself physical wise. Like, her outward beauty shines, and when you hear her speak, you can tell that she's intelligent. Yet when you hear the way that she talked about Derek Jackson, she had 3 abortions. She didn't say if it was by him or by other men before she had her first kid with Derek Jackson. She talked about how she would leave Derek Jackson's apartment. This was prior to them getting married. And as she was leaving the apartment, his next vagina appointment was walking up the stairs, and they would pass each other and essentially acknowledge each other in the hallway. She had found videos of Derrick Jaxn sleeping with other women and decided that she wanted to try to model how she pleased him based off of how sexual acts had occurred with Derrick and other women. And I'm just like, yo, it helps, I guess, if you 6'5" and built like a linebacker to be able to do that. But to a person that is going to follow that, there is I would tell any man, don't even try to follow that. Don't even try to follow this person right here with her eyelashes that are longer than my hand. Every time she blinks, she's flying a little bit. Don't waste your meat. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Your money, energy, attention, and time on anybody that thinks this way. Don't waste
Who
your
the quarterback
money.
is. I'm gonna give him credit. He like one came down, one came up. That's bold for anybody.
Yo, she outwardly said this. Now, this was her first interview since the Derrick Jaxn news broke. And if you don't know who Derrick Jaxn is, or anybody that follows me don't know who Derrick Jaxn is, he's considered this relationship guru, so to speak. And this guy, clean cut, big, broad shoulder, buff, chocolatey dude, right? And he's getting on here and he's pandering to ladies, talking about what a man shouldn't do, what a man should do, how a woman should be treated, yada yada. Yet this dude was literally getting off of his from putting up his videos and then going to these other women's houses, cheating on his wife. And some of these ladies also knew that. They knew they want the main squeeze. There was one that came forward that said that she didn't realize that he was married, which should also tell you a lot in itself right there. She had gotten pregnant and ended up having an abortion. Ew. And this was a doctor. She was like a doctor or a lawyer, like some high white collar job like that. So it wasn't like he's just going in here and messing with unintelligent women. Physically, he had the features that these ladies wanted, and he took advantage of that. Just like I bet I have an image of the dude that this lady that we're showing now is probably with, who is likely 6'2" or taller, known to everybody in the city that he's around, probably laying it down, and and all these women know who he is. They know who he is. They know what he's about. Yet they'll still make a short-term decision that will lead to some jacked up long-term goals.
And the girl who we had sex with, it was his other baby mama, supposedly, but he don't claim her child, but she's supposed to have a child by him. And I just wanted to see what it was like. How do he be fucking other girls? Wait, I don't know. It's a long story. It's a long story, Kendra.
No, it's not. It's not a long story. You're just ignorant.
Daddy. I'm not gonna lie. I got a sugar daddy. He take care of me. It's just that, like, listen, I tried to get on your show a couple of days ago, but it wouldn't go through. But he was in my back seat. But listen, I got a sugar daddy. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, and he take care of everything.
So, got a sugar daddy who takes care. So here she is on a dating show. 5 kids by the same dude, who's got about 14, 15 other kids by at least 6 different women, who also has a sugar daddy. So look, if you're dating her and you're not blowing her back out and you're not giving her money because you aren't the sugar daddy, then she's going to eat you alive, because she has a sugar daddy that's giving her money, and likely for her not doing anything, right? She has a dude that all she has to do is say, come over, who will, come over, sling that thing, and leave. There is no hope for this lady to find a guy that is going to be willing, a quality guy. She'll find a low quality dude who will give her short-term happiness for sure. Absolutely.
One, Yeah, the shovel is out there.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
big
she
time.
keeps digging.
She wants all this stuff, but she's looking at the wrong places. Like quality guys like yourself and myself who want a serious relationship. I want marriage. You want whatever you want. It's they skip right over us saying, because we are not out there partying and spending money and drinking and doing all this stuff. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go out there and spend money and drinking all night when I have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning the next day, and two, why would I spend all my money on alcohol and booze or weed or whatever when I can have a great dinner with somebody else and have a great conversation that means more? The same.
And look, I don't know the whole story, so I'm not going to speak ill of the dead, but I'm aware of a young man who was in college who was dating somebody at the time, and his college was about 3 to 4 hours away. So it wasn't like he was, down the city or whatever and could easily come and visit her. But she hit him with the I'm lonely. I hadn't seen you in a while. I miss you. And he's like in college playing sports. So he's got his, he's a student athlete. He's got his student obligations with his academics, and he's got his athletic things that he has to do with workouts and things like that. But she guilted him into coming down to see her. I don't know why she couldn't go see him. But he had to be back the next day. So he made a trip out there, spent time with her, and instead of resting and then getting back in the following day, chose to turn back around that same night and drive back up. Overslept or not overslept, fell asleep behind the wheel and lost his life. Right? That's the version that I believe what occurred. Just hearing how everything kind of occurred after the fact. And it speaks to what we're talking about now. The short-term happiness for long-term success. If somebody truly loved you, they wouldn't ask you or guilt you into coming down when they know you have things to do the following day. They're just not going to do that. I'm not going to be like, yeah, it's like, hey, babe, I know we hadn't seen each other in a while. I got classes. It is what it is. I'll be able to come holler at you in 2 weeks when I got spring break or something. You're not just going to sit there and guilt trip somebody into doing that and spending that kind of time with you because you feel sad and lonely when they've got obligations. It's tragic.
It goes both ways.
Right?
Like if I tell my girl or I can't come, she needs to understand, like, don't worry about it. And same another way, like, oh, I want you to come up. She needs to understand. We both have to be on the same page with that.
Yep. God happened to me said that level of naivety, complacency, and ignorance is appalling. She followed that up with that mentality is why women like me who desire love struggle to find it. As a woman, she allowed her boyfriend to take advantage of her and his other baby mamas. And she is taking advantage of the sugar daddy. Yep. And the sugar daddies allowed it. Shout out to all the sugar daddies and sugar babies out there. It's an economy that's thriving. Some people say it ain't tricking if you got it. It is what it is.
I'm doing something wrong. I don't have a sugar mama. I need one.
Hey, if there's a sugar mama out there that has a net worth of over $1 million, bang my email. It is in the link in the description.
You're going after the Greek god here.
All right, let's see. Here's part 2. So this is part 2 of the video. There's some parts that I'm going to have to skip because she went on a rant, but I don't think it's that long. And then I found a video that kind of goes to a comment that Pete said earlier. We're going to play that and then close out the show.
Have time for a man. Kendra, do you feel like I don't have time for a man?
I mean, well, I would say this. I'm not a mom. And I do know that being a mom is a full-time job, and you have 5 kids, and you have a 1-year-old. You had sex with your baby daddy a month ago. I don't know if it's time or if you are ready to introduce another guy into your life. And I think you just got to be honest, you come with a package now.
Mhm.
So we got to. I mean, I wish you could settle down with your child's father. You got 5 kids together, but seems like you don't want to do that.
Somebody said I'm trolling. I'm very not trolling. If you want to see, you can go on my page. I have 5 girls.
So now she's in the comments, right? She asked Kendra for advice, and I don't think she listened to a word that Kendra said. Not just this time, but there's going to be another time as well that Kendra's going to say something, and the lady's going to completely just go on a tangent based on what people are saying in the comments. So Kendra's show is live. It is live. So as these people come on, other viewers and watchers are commenting as they're listening. There, there are trolls. I mean, anytime you do a live stream, there's a chance that a troll is going to pop on and provide comments. But then there's other people that are giving the same feedback that me and Pete are giving right now that are, I'm not saying speaking truth, but they're giving an observation based on what they see. And a lot of people were in agreement with that observation.
Well, if I give her any advice, get therapy.
Hey, that is funny that you said that. I'll tell you why after the fact. I have to make sure that I come back and
I don't care
and
what
talk
you say in
about
the
that.
comments. I'm not trolling. You can go on my page and you can see I have 5 girls. Who lies about that? Y'all are more childish in these comments than anything. Cause listen, we can take it there. And yeah, I look like Glorilla, but I look better. Thank you though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Now, but Star, what would you say to the guy that's cautious about the fact that you have 5 children?
That's cautious.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, because 5 kids.
Good
I mean,
question,
if
Kendra.
If he takes you, and do you want to get married one day?
Yeah, I want to get married.
So he would have to accept you and 5 children, and if he's a real man, that means he has to provide for you and 5 other people. So he has to
I don't like that. I don't like that. And if he's a real man, that's the part that Kendra lost me at, because a real man should automatically, hey, look, if I'm with a lady and that kid's father, like let's say if I'm with somebody and she had a kid and that kid's father is active, he plays an active role in raising his kids, I'm not there to replace that dude. So that's not going to make me a real man by saying automatically, hey, I'm bringing in her and all her 5 kids and I'm a real man. Be a man. That to me, that's dumb.
I'll use my personal experience with my recent ex. She had 4 kids from her previous marriage. One man, not 4 different men.
Mm-hmm.
Her youngest, at the time it was 17, 16, I can't remember exactly, to be honest. His father wasn't in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
He sent money, but he needed a role model. And he looked at me, and his brother looked at me, you're more than a father to me than my own father is. And I went like, what that threw me off. I'm not BSing at all. But that wasn't expected of me. Going in a relationship, she told me, they have a father. You're not going to be the father. You're going to be the stepdad. So she needs to take notes for that. No man should be jumping like, I'm going to support you, 6 kids, plus my other 5 are coming with you. No. What is it like? We're gonna have a little freaking platoon here. She has 5, plus I'm gonna have another 5 with you, plus the other 5 I had. No, it doesn't work like that. Young lady, I don't know who you are, but it doesn't work like that. I'm sorry.
There are blended families that are successful. In my opinion, the success is hinged on the fact that one of the people in the blended family is extremely wealthy. I think wealthy blended families can work to where people aren't going to be not damaged. Damage just seems harsh, but have severe issues growing up and moving forward.
Going into that relationship, I'll back up my comment I said earlier. Therapy will be the number one thing she's going to get before a ring comes around her finger. And I would say
yes,
it's because you cannot say you're not mentally damaged after having 5 kids with a guy who has 25 kids plus a sugar daddy plus a threesome plus what else she's not telling us.
Yep. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here because I think that this is a good time to show this one. Kendra did say, and I don't think I can zoom in, so I'm just gonna read it. To this one here, part two. This is Kendra's IG, Kendra G Media. She said, listen, sitting in this chair for 3 years, I never know who I'm going to speak with. Sometimes, though, I could tell some people have no clue how each life decision will affect the next. So it's so easy to judge her, but I honestly just feel she needs better guidance and therapy. I truly felt for her. Right there. Perfect example.
Yeah.
Perfect example. So let's see. Let me stop sharing and go back into the video here.
Provide for 6 people. What would you say? If you get married to a man, he's providing for you in some way. And if not, he's definitely compromising. He's living in a house with kids that he didn't create, 5 of them. So what would you say to the guy that might be cautious?
I don't think so, because I got this. I got this, I got this.
But if you got, okay, do you understand the compromise? If you were to marry a man, you have young kids, 11 and 9, 6, 5, 1-year-old.
11, 9, 6, 5, 1. So 2 that are really close in age to each other and a 1-year-old.
Y'all will all have to live together. So there are some men who, this could, if they want to build a life, right? This is why I think you guys should think about this before you have kids, because now you say you want to get married, but you want to marry a man who's not the father of your child.
Now, in this clip too, I also want to highlight this. She doesn't say if she has all 5 of her kids. She doesn't say if she has all 5, but she did say that she is a full-time worker. So I'm trying to think. 4 of her kids are school age, 1's not, but they're all going to be on different schedules. She has to have help. There's no way that she can take care of each of the kids' schedules. It doesn't sound like the guy's really there. So I'm thinking she has help in the form of a family member or something, because there is absolutely no way, unless you're just, like I said, unless you're stupid wealthy, that you can be a single parent of 5 kids and make the time work as a full-time worker. It's just not possible.
Of your children, excuse me. So you want this man to live in a household, and he would be a provider because he's living in a household with your children, 5 kids. So any man that's thinking about his life and planning for it, he would have to think about that. He would need a bigger car. He would need a bigger house, more groceries, more field trips. He has to bend his whole life for you and your children that are not his children. So for the guy that is thinking about, I don't know if I want to sign up for that, what would be your response?
Okay, good question. I feel you. But
so that was a question. Her response back was, yeah, okay, I feel you. And then look what she's about to do. So she heard nothing of what Kendra said because she was in the comments.
This comment is really pissing me off. Like, that's 5 Happy Meals. So fucking well. I can feed my own kids. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. My house stay clean. I don't care about nothing what y'all talking about. All y'all on here single, so why are y'all in the comments anyway? Y'all single too. Get so I don't understand.
And then she's rubbing the hair. Oh man.
Here.
Oh man. Oh, like there's certain things that I observed that when they do that, you can tell that things just aren't there. They're not there. It's the and then they're doing that. I'm like, man, I wish I had a compilation where I could do the and it's people that look similar to her that are deflecting, lack of accountability. They ask a question and heard nothing. Question does just like this because they're in their own ignorant world. And they do the same stuff.
3 things. From 1, I want to know how the hell she's paying for child support. We both know child support is not, child care, Child care is not fucking cheap.
Nope.
Simple. Number 2, what kind of role model is she being to her daughters?
Bingo. Ding, ding, ding.
Now,
Ding, ding, ding. Thank you. I had that written down as something to say later on. I'm glad that you said it. I'm glad it wasn't me that said it, people. I'm
I'll
glad it
say
wasn't me
the
that said it.
third one, she's still acting like she's in high school. Seriously? Seriously? Like, I can do it too. I got a ponytail too. Like, and my hair's probably more softer than yours, woman. I'm not impressed. I think it's
No.
a joke, to be honest. And she's in the comments. Like, you want to hit by the keyboard?
Yep.
Seriously, like, who do you care what people say? That's what problem our society these days. We care so much what people say in the comments. We're bullies behind a keyboard. If you're a real man or real woman, say what you gotta say and just drop it. You can argue and disagree and still be civil, not be animals.
Mm-hmm. God happened to be said, this behavior and mentality makes all black women look bad. It's sad and overwhelmingly discouraging. And there's nothing else that I could add to that. I agree. But I agree to an extent. Like I said, I look at her and I see an archetype. The way that the hair is, the way she's talking, her mannerisms, the snuffleupagus eyelashes. I look at her and I see an archetype for that person. And that is a low quality female. And it is somebody that I will actively avoid. I will literally do an about face at a 180 for those of y'all that don't know military terms and walk the other direction. You couldn't pay me to spend time with her. You might be able to pay me to sleep with her though. Just saying. Now we can continue. That is a joke.
And like, I don't even care. Y'all the one trolling, talking about trolling. Kendra, I will find love. I don't care about what they talking. Saying the wrong thing, talking about Jaybird. Where's her dad? My dad got killed, so we're not gonna go there. My dad got killed. Okay.
Now, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. So for those of y'all that didn't catch, like this video is clipped to for Kendra's stuff. And I guess people in the comments were saying, where's her dad at? You know, where's the father figure in her life? And she said, my dad got killed. My dad got killed. I wasn't surprised that she said that. And she said it the way that she said it. My dad was killed. Nope. My dad got killed. Hey, these are the people that, as long as she have no felonies,
listen, I'm not
allowed
saying
to vote.
I'm not gonna sit here and say, yo, don't use any slang. I'm not gonna sit there like I'm saying I don't use it. I use it occasionally, but not to that level. Come on, you're 30. At a certain point at your age, you should like start talking more proper.
Yep. Oh man, God happened to me is in the comments tonight. First one, she said, how about we stop worrying about whether or not the opposite sex is being a good man or a good woman and focus on just being a good person. And she followed that up with a whole bar. You know what? I've been lazy. I got to get my soundboard attached to my laptop. I cannot attract a good man if I am not first a good woman. I cannot attract what I am not. And man, hey, let me round of applause right there. That is what a lot of people on social media are saying nowadays, because you have people that say, I want this, I want that, or I deserve this, I deserve that. And then you'll look at them and you'll say, okay, what kind of person are you? What makes it so that you feel as though you feel like you deserve XYZ? And a lot of the times when you do that and you really break it down, I'd say maybe 80% of the times you'll realize that that person is doing nothing but blowing hot air, and that they're not what they claim to be, so they can't attract what it is that they're seeking. Plain and simple. Like there's people that, I deserve a 6-figure dude because you got a vagina. So does every other gendered person that was born with a vagina.
And here's the thing, and I'm not going to be quiet about this one. I'll be straight up. You don't deserve anything. Go earn it. You put your foot in your shoes, in your pants, buckle it like everybody else do, and go earn it. You don't. Nobody is like you. I need this, and I'll get it because I deserve it because I take care of my hair. I do my nails. No, go goddamn fucking earn it like everybody else. Get
Yes,
up
sir.
and do it. And go get an education if that's what. And that's fine. You don't need education. Be a good person. Don't try to blackmail people. Don't try to do this. Don't try to do that. You do not. You need to earn it. I don't care how you cut the apple. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He got killed. We gonna leave it at that. So don't say where is my dad. He's dead. He got killed.
It's there.
See, people in the comments
Hold
can
on,
be.
let me go back. So I go back.
He got killed. See, people in the comments can be a little ruthless, like for no reason. Yeah, I'm a sweet girl. Don't do that.
You a sweet girl?
Don't do that.
You a
It's
sweet
kind
girl?
of hard for you, Star. Like, it's because I just feel like it's like literally you just don't know any better, I think.
Yep. Yes. 30 years old. 30 years old. I think she was 29, about to turn 30 when this video was actually done. So I think she's 30 now. And what Kendra said right there, some people say, well, when you're young, you're 21, 22, you don't know any better. I joined the military, Pete, when I was 18 years old. Yes, that is true to a sense. I didn't know better. I hadn't really lived life, right? Between the ages of 18 to 30 are really important years that by the time you turn 30, you should have a lot figured out. You're still in the first quarter of life. I heard somebody talk about there's 4 quarters of life from birth to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, and then 60 and beyond. So birth to 20 is the first quarter of life. All right. 20 to 40 is that second quarter of life where I'm telling you, like, if you do things right, but in that second quarter, that first quarter is about learning, living, making mistakes and things like that. In the second quarter of life, you can still make mistakes, but each mistake that you make, it kind of makes it that much harder for you in further quarters of your life. You can make a lot of mistakes in the first quarter and it won't really mess you up. But in that second quarter, mistakes can be a little bit more costlier. In that third quarter, you're really talking about things that you should have learned. So if you make a mistake, it's likely going to be a big mistake because you should have already learned from life and doing things in those first 2 quarters. Let's see. Ooh, there's some additional comments here. God Happened to Me said, I don't know her, but by her own account, she is accepting low quality behavior. So that's what she deserves. She continues to accept being irrelevant. So that's what she deserves. I'm not saying that my above comment is true of everyone, but I am saying that you deserve what you allow. Absolutely. And if you don't feel that you deserve it, don't allow it. Boom, mic drop, pow, right there. God Happened to Me. Look at my face. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about right there. Continuing.
And I think I say here with wisdom only because I'm older than you. Like I've lived life. So
she's
life
like 40-something years old.
Taught me a lot of things that I know now. And without that, who knows if I would know it. And then sitting on this show for 3 years, I've also learned a lot. So
she's been doing the show since the pandemic.
You never did therapy?
No, people.
Oh, so I'm going to admit, I didn't finish all of part 2 because I saw part 2 just before I went live, actually. So I didn't know that she actually mentioned therapy, but the young lady needs it. She absolutely needs it. She has a mindset that needs to change.
People, even my mama telling me I need
it. So I'm gonna pay for
even my mama tell me I need therapy.
With one of my therapists, I got a few, but I got one that specializes in like literally Love McPherson. She does relationships. She'll help you understand maybe your childhood trauma and how you make certain decisions. And she can help you understand maybe some tools that can help you make different decisions moving forward. So I got to get your contact info. So you said you're on Facebook?
Yeah, it's Star Sullivan.
Okay. So, well, I'll see you text this. So when this is over, I'm going to have my assistant reach out to you and I'm going to connect you with Love.
All right, thank you.
Bye, baby.
Hold on, let me see if there's anything else that's added to this.
Listen, I just feel like I felt for her because I just really felt like she just didn't have any guidance, and I really felt
Hmm.
she didn't know any better. And yeah, we could judge. I mean, but what does that do? You know, does it make a change? You know, listen, believe it or not, I know a lot of things happen on the show. I
Yep.
really do have good intentions, and I really want enlightenment. Can Avaka talk? Enlightenment to happen, and I think that is happening with the show because a lot of people that come on the show really don't know any better, if that's the words. But it's just not with females, with men too. I personally
Yeah.
get irritated when people only focus on the females. I get a lot of men who are delusional on my show as well. But no,
She does.
I really felt something for her because I just really feel like she doesn't know. She's not realizing her life decisions or choices are affecting everything that she really, really, really wants. So hopefully love can help her unpack that. All right,
Well,
let's keep
wind
going.
that back.
Or choices because I just really feel like she doesn't know. She's not realizing her life decisions or choices are affecting everything that she really, really, really wants. So
Her life decision and choices are affecting everything that she really, really wants. And that right there, that's the creme de la creme of why I wanted to have this live stream tonight. Too many people are making decisions in life that are just ill informed. They don't know any better when they should. Now, there's a couple of things. I don't know what her lifestyle was like. She sounds like she does have her mom in her life. She didn't, and she mentioned that her dad was not living. But where are the mentors? I am aware of several different mentor programs because I'm a part of them. I try and volunteer when I have time with several nonprofits that are about getting mentors into the schools. Some of the places that I've been to have been in what you would call underprivileged areas, and I've been into some more privileged areas. And man, it's night and day when you listen to the kids talk that you can get to understand what type of childhood trauma that they've gone through. It's night and day when you understand and hear how involved their parents are. You can kind of tell the way that a kid is going to grow up and be as an adult without any like additional therapy or help. That lady has likely had some childhood trauma that is affecting her life. And the people that's going to come into her life with that trauma not being, you know, identified or worked through, it's going to cause everybody involved.
It goes back to what I said originally when I first started the stream, like mentor. If you don't have a mentor, I came out okay, I guess. I'm not like that bad, but it took years of me effing up
Mhm.
to learn from my lessons. And you can't really blame her if she used to seeing her mother or whoever around her like, doing the same stuff. Do you expect anything less, really?
Yeah, man. Yep.
I'm like I can't really knock her for it, but if she realizes she's doing it, like she's kind of said, get therapy. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm in
No.
therapy.
Yep. Same. I actually I have a therapist. I used to see a therapist once a month. I don't see my therapist as often now because your boy has, I take the things that I do in therapy and apply it. And if your
Mhm.
therapist is good, like therapy, some people think that therapy is designed to keep you going back and paying that therapist life salary and kids college tuition. I think that you can get to a point depending on what your traumas were that you experienced that you can no longer require therapy. And I'm not saying I no longer require therapy. I just don't need therapy as often as I used to. Bro, the calm person that you see before you today is almost kind of like the Hulk where Bruce Banner was like, "That's my secret. I'm always angry." Man, I had a phase in my life where I had to control my temper because the type of person that I am, I know that if I did not control my temper, I was likely going to damage something or someone. And I know that about myself. So I needed to learn how to center myself. I needed to learn how to calm down. I cannot be an angry black bearded person going off on everybody in today's society here in the US because I will likely be behind bars. I know that. So I have to control that.
In other words, Jack of a hive, pretty much. And
Yep.
unfortunately, a lot of people suffer anger issues. You don't realize how many people do suffer from anger problems.
Yeah.
More than you think.
Mm-hmm. There is one more video. I'm going to share it. This is from Lady Di, Dating to Marriage Support. Shout out to James and Di. They did a reaction video to this old video. I can't recall what show it was on, but it was something that you said that made me think about this video, Pete. So I'm going to play this, and I'm going to ask you if you agree with what this guy says. I'm staying out of this. This is going to be all you. If hate occurs, it's going to come down on you.
What do women really want?
I don't care what they want. I only care what they respond to. See, my focus is a little bit different from your other guests. There's what women say they want, there's what women think they want, and then there's what they actually respond to. I'm not an academic, I'm not a theoretician. I'm interested in what works on the street when it's time to date and mate. And what women actually respond to is not what they say they want.
So what do they respond to?
They really respond to a guy who's a challenge, a guy who's a question mark, a guy who keeps them guessing. You see, in the beginning, the less attractive you are physically, the more you have to rely on your attitude. And that's what I wrote my book for. I wrote my book for the average-looking, even ugly guy who goes out there in the real world and tries to be a nice guy, gets his head kicked in.
I like Lady Di and James's reaction to the things that he said. I've met them personally, really solid couple, good people. And I was looking at I was looking at your reaction too, man. So tell me what you thought about what was discussed and what was said in that
First of
clip.
all, I don't know if he's high or not.
Oh, here we go. Come on, Pete. Why is that?
So, you're telling me I'm dating Mrs. whatever her name is, and tell me her opinion, her comment on this doesn't matter. I'm going to tell her what to do. She's going to kick me in the goddamn balls. That's what's going to happen. Or she's going to bobby me off. Physical attraction, as much as I hate to say this, physical has something to do with it. Let's be honest.
It matters.
I'm not turning my hand like, I'm going to bang that. There's nothing there. Let's be straight up. Like, if it was not some kind of physical, I'm not saying you have to be Jack, a six-pack, look like Jay Cutler all the time. But if you have some kind of, listen, I know I'm fat right now, but we'll come back to this in a year. You're going to be eating those words, and that's
Nice.
a promise.
I like it.
Canned teeth. When you know me, but you know me pretty well, I think. When I put my mind on something, I don't give up. But
Good.
Same thing with this. You cannot say a woman, you're going to eat a steak, but I want chicken. No, you're going to eat a steak. Who the hell is this guy? He wrote a book? Please tell me he's not eating not even 20 copies, because people are stupid at buying that book.
I have two things to say. Number
No.
one, I'd like to know what the book is.
No, of course you do.
And number two, I agree with him. I'm going to run the clip back, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to stop it at the three things that he said.
What do women really want?
I don't care what they want. I only care what they respond to. See,
Right there.
Okay.
Right there. I don't care what they want. I care what they respond to. Okay.
Here's a
So
point here.
let me see.
my focus is a little bit different from your other guests. There's what women say they want,
He said it's what they say they want.
there's what women think they want, and
It's what they think they want.
then there's what they actually respond to.
And what they respond to. So he said that his focus is, I don't care what you say. I don't even care what you think. What are you responding to? Which, honestly, let's tie this back into that previous video of the lady on Kendra G's show, right? She responded to the guy that could throw it down in bed. So anytime he would say, come on over, that's what it's doing. Hey, hold on. A shout out to Dated to Marriage Support. Yo, when I saw this clip, y'all's reaction itself had me rolling. And James in the back was just like me. I'm like, so salute to y'all, man. Yeah, he said, I don't care what they say. That lady, right? She's coming on talking about how she wants a husband. She's trying to find a husband and dating somebody through Kendra G's show while she's a mom of 5 kids, all with the same dude apparently, but this dude also has 15 other kids. I think she said at least 15 other. So that's 19 total. And she had a sugar daddy on in the back of her car that she tried to come on Kendra G's show before, with the sugar daddy just sitting in the background. Okay, so she's saying what she wants. She's thinking that she wants a good man that's going to provide, but she's responding to a man that's being a sugar daddy, paying for her bills, and a dude that can lay it down in the bed and can convince her to have a threesome because he's good in bed. And her words were, I wanted to see how he boned other women. What she responded to. This guy has a point, in my opinion. He has a point.
I'm not an academic. I'm not a theoretician. I'm interested in what works on the street when it's time to date and mate. And what women actually respond to is not what they say they want.
So what do they respond?
Let me pause on that face right there. Hey, because I was like, I did the same thing.
Here's my thing with that. I'll use my ex for example. When we were going out for dinner, I go, honey, what would you like for dinner? And she would tell me X, Y, Z. And then she really meant that. Or if we were doing something, whatever. She wasn't like playing mind games. So that could be a catch-22. Some women might be like that. Some women might be like that.
They really respond to a guy who's a challenge, a guy who's a question mark, a guy who keeps them guessing. You see, in the beginning, the less attractive you are physically, the more you have to rely on your attitude. And that's what I wrote my book for.
Hey, man, look, I'm watching Lady Di and James, and to see them react simultaneously, you can tell that that's a couple that's in sync right there.
My book for the average looking, even ugly guy who goes out there in the real world and tries to be a nice guy, gets his head kicked in.
Ross.
See, here's what I'm going to disagree with this 100%. Your attitude, I don't give a shit about that. Your physique, no. It's confidence.
Oh, yeah.
You're not confident. I don't care what woman. You might get a little girl on a corner because you're paying her, but your confidence is more important than anything. And I bet you anybody who's responding in the comments, chat right now, will probably agree with me and say it's not the attitude, it's the confidence.
Confidence matters.
Yeah.
100%. I actually had a short-term fling with somebody who I thought was a pretty good person, but she had a number done on her confidence by a prior relationship. And this is somebody who had her own money, educated, traveled and things like that. So she had a different perspective than the average person, so to speak. But her prior relationship, this dude kicked her down in every single turn that she could.
Been there too.
And I saw some of the messages that he left her, because she was okay enough to actually show me the conversations.
Mhm.
And man, he dogged her. And from the little that I knew about this lady, she didn't deserve the treatment that she had. Like, I'm not trying to come to her rescue and say, oh, no, like knowing her, how she acted, her spirit and things like that, this dude was straight up a dog to her. And I eventually walked away from her because she needed help and I couldn't give it to her. You know, I couldn't be the guy that stuck around with her confidence issues because it was kind of like walking on eggshells, so to speak, that she was judging me based off of some of the things that our prior relationship was. And initially I just didn't see it. I didn't see it. But then I'm like, yeah, you know what? I ain't got time for this. And I told her that. She told me, trying to think that maybe it would keep me to stick around. I'm like, nope, I'm out.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like confidence, is something I think everybody needs to work on somehow, some way. Even myself, I work on. Like I know people have come up to me like, yeah, dude, you're a great guy in this, but you need to stop saying this because it makes you feel weak. But you're not. I know you're working on it, and nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Yep. Well, hey, man, we are at the end of today's live stream. I went an hour and 20 minutes. I did not plan on going this long, but I thought it was dope. I'm glad that you hit the link and joined up. I think I'm gonna do that the last Tuesday of the month. I'm gonna have a call-in show, so anybody that watches the live stream or listens to this, because I put it out on podcast form as well, you're welcome to come up and have a conversation with me. Pete, thanks for tuning in, man. It was good to see you on Sunday. I know we didn't have a lot of time because we were just getting back in town and you were heading back to the crib, but I do appreciate the gift that you got, not just for me, but for Michelle as well. That was thoughtful. It was surprising, and I'm thankful for it, man. So I appreciate you, brother.
It's my little
all right
for always have my back.
Yeah, man, absolutely. All right, I'm going to give you the Das Boots and wrap up the show. Peace.
Yeah.
Hey, man, so that was my guy Pete on Grooming and Reviews 101. Shout out to everybody that tuned in, from Tarika, who's typically the first one in every single time. That is one of the mods over there. We have the same last name, but we are not related. She is an awesome individual. She's supposed to be starting up a channel on YouTube as well. And it's been like 6 months, Tarika. What's going on? All right. Shout out to God Happened to Me, one of my biggest supporters out there. I'm rocking with her. We have a channel called The King in Me. It's not on my link tree yet. We haven't really been advertising it, but we're going to showcase what Black love looks like from two couples and two people that just got together trying to make it work. All right. We are making decisions to showcase that and have the conversation, because when you look around, there's not a lot of good examples of things trying to work, right? Or working. Okay. Channels like Dating to Marriage Support showcase and highlights the good parts of relationships, and other stuff like I like the way that Lady Di and James introduced their short form content to show the stuff that's out there, and then they'll have their long form content in the form of live streams, and they're helping other people out. They're trying to help people with their communication styles, their love languages, whatever, right? The things that are needed to make relationships work, whether it's two people or three or more. Because look, let's be honest, there seems to be more poly relationships out there than there was 20 years ago. Some people would say that poly is working because you can't get what you need from one particular person, or some people can't get what they need from one person, so they get this stuff from this person, this stuff from this person, this stuff from this person, and this stuff from this person, so that they can feel happy and whole. I think that's too much, right? I don't think you're going to be able to get all of the things from one person, but you can get enough from somebody to make it work out for you. And that's me. That's me. I'm not knocking anybody that need more than one person. If your relationship needs to have some type of poly lifestyle for you to be able to be happy and fulfilled in life, go for it. That's just too much money, energy, attention, and time for me. I also want to thank Pete for coming on, and Dating to Marriage Support for popping into the comments. And hey, fair use over there. All right, fair use. Don't hit me with no copyright stuff for using y'all's TikTok video that I downloaded from Instagram. Thank you. Said, thanks for the shout out, brother. Look forward to y'all new channel. Absolutely, man. Or ma'am, whichever one. All right. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday. I'm going to be streaming live from, I'm going to tell you where I'll be at. Whatever. Outer Banks, North Carolina. I'll be on the beach. If I can have Wi-Fi at the beach while I'm streaming, even if I could get the ocean to be in the background, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I want haters to hate. Right. So next Tuesday, I will be in Outer Banks at the Outer Banks, North Carolina. If you are around that area, holla at me. Let me know. All right. We can go have a Mai Tai or something. To everybody else, I hope y'all have a fantastic week. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, peace.